Super. And we are going live.
Right.
I will, mayroon tayong 5 second pause before we go live. Going live. Kakayanin kaya ng internet ko to. Oh my God.
Ayan, kaya.
Going live on
Tiwala, tiwala.
Facebook.
Looks.
Going live on Facebook. And then, chika-chika muna kayo. It takes a while. I'm trying this other platform kasi for streaming. And it's
Have you
taking...
tried
Ano?
StreamYard?
So, ito yung kalaban ng StreamYard. Yung tinatry ko ngayon. It's a newer player. It's called
Mm.
a live stream. And we are live. Hello, we are live. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Designers. I am Ellie. Today we have some guests, Nika, Balisi. We'll learn more about them later. We have Din, Claudine San Diego, and then we have Janelle Tamayo. We will also be joined later by Chi. Oops. Ano ba yan? My
Everybody.
yeah. Yan. I am sharing my screen, my desktop on Facebook Live. So whatever I see here, if people will see. I'm trying to be careful. All right. So thank you for joining me today, everyone. Hello. I will start with Nika. Can you tell me? I'll show your. I will share your. Let me share your Facebook page. Let's share your
Or
Facebook page,
Facebook
Nika.
page.
No,
Wow.
the LinkedIn page. Sorry, let's share your LinkedIn page, your LinkedIn profile. Nika, tell us briefly about yourself.
Hello. Hi, I'm Nika. So currently I work as a lead UX designer for Make Technology. So ano to, from the start na ba?
No,
Like
sige.
origin story.
Sige, mamaya. Can I
Ah.
ask Claudine? Claudine, hello, introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Claudine. I'm the research lead at uxpage.org. That's where I met Ali and Janiel.
All right.
Hello everyone.
Hello. And then we have Janelle.
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 It's always the pronunciation. Hi, I'm currently a UX designer at NextPay and also the events lead and part of the research team at UXPH.
All right, thank you. And then later, we are just waiting for Chi Sinieres. Is also another works at Signal TV, but is also part of the user experience design team. Okay, so let's jump right into our questions. So our first question, and I'll stop sharing my screen so we can go to your faces. Stop sharing. Stop sharing. Yeah, we'll go straight to our discussion. Let's start with Nika. I have 3 questions for you. The first question is, and then we'll jump to each one of them. What the first question is, what's your origin story? What's your superpower? What's your designer superpower, or what do you enjoy doing a lot? Or what is it? What makes you different? What makes you unique? And then tell us about your origin story. Go, Nika.
So both na. Okay,
Sige,
sige.
start. Go.
I guess superpower probably healing kasi I do like being able to fix problems, mga ganon. Normally right now in my job, I enjoy being able to like look into different things and like see how we can improve on it. Not to say na mali siya, but just being able to like work on it, then work on an existing thing. But yeah.
All
Sige.
right.
Origin story?
Sige, what's your
Now?
origin story? Did you fall from the
Weird.
sky and came from a meteor?
Yeah. Big Tahoe with superpowers from an asteroid.
Yes. From the sun? Are you powered by the sun? Sige.
I guess like in a past life. So yung background ko really was business management. That was my undergrad.
Wow,
And
really?
before, yeah. And then, pero like design has always been some sort of hobby of mine. So like in college, I would do ads, I would do promos, or the org life. Keme.
The
But I
org
did
life, yeah.
spend like first few months or like the first year of my professional life, parang I worked with a startup na product who does like payroll stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, but I do parang client training and implementation. So, after sales, it's really more of talking to clients and seeing how they can adapt to like the product, teaching them how to use it, and seeing how the product actually fits into the organization and how they can adjust. Because you know, when you do payroll, it's different for each company. They have parang
Mm,
different structures. You
yeah.
have to like go around it. And then I went on another mini break, and then I was doing design parang racket gig on a gig basis.
Uh,
And then eventually I got like some sort of semi-stable job at a startup. But this is so more design na talaga siya. And then that's kind of where I decided na maybe I'll give it a shot.
mm,
But I was working like as a marketing person, like as a communications person. So parang ako yung buong comms department, buong marketing department.
marketing ang ano mo
But
pala
that's how I
before.
learned.
Uh,
Yeah, parang it touches on that a lot. But that's how I learned about UX. And then parang I kind of was really fascinated about it. So parang it's really the intersection of design and the user thing. Um, and then that's when I decided that, oh, parang I want to venture more into this.
so ano ka
Then
pala? Shifter ka pala. You had shifted from marketing to
I have
UX.
shapeshifter pala dapat yung sinabi ko.
Kung ano, you are a shapeshifter. Your
Hindi pala
superhero
dapat
power. Sige.
So,
Yeah.
yun. And then I got the job with Make after that.
All right.
And then here I am.
And then here you are.
Yes.
Sige, let's jump. Nominate your next, Nika. Sino sa kay Claudine or kay Janelle ang next?
Sige, let's go with Dean.
Din. So then, what's your superpower and how do you what's your origin story?
All right. So let me refer to my outline. Okay. So my interests before the UX world, I really enjoyed making sense and putting things together. So as a content strategist, then it would be about understanding the brief, putting together a list of content ideas and presenting it and turning it into something concrete. So given that I like that process, my superpower, I believe, would be like a catalyst. So
The list
like
with your cat.
so it's with my cat. So a catalyst. So it would be like turning like nothing into something. Like I'm realizing also in UXPH that I really move things along, especially with projects. Like I just have that in me to do, and connecting it with the realm of UX and what I'm currently pursuing now, which is UX research. Um, it would be turning information into something that's understandable and tangible and of use. So I would be a catalyst. That would be my superpower. And this is my
Right.
cat.
Yes, si Poe.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Sige. And
Okay.
then I guess we jump to Jan.
Oh, Janelle.
Nakakatawa when people mistake your name, no?
As long
Sige,
as
tell
there's
us.
Ja and Neil, okay na yun.
Oh, ano yan? Yeah. So tell us about your superpower, designer superpower, and your origin story.
I don't know if this is a design superpower, but I guess you guys mentioned that I'm very organized. My
Yes, you
massive
are.
goals.
We can
The
ano to that?
organizer.
The organ. Yes.
Organized.
Nika,
I'm a healer, catalyst, and then organizer.
yes. Nika, she's been it when we were doing UXPH, the conference. She's behind the scenes
Huh?
of it all. She's making it all happen. So yeah,
Oh my god.
go ahead,
Yeah.
Janil.
I guess that's my
Here.
superpower.
Puppeteer.
The puppeteer.
And
Strings behind.
the shadow master.
Uh,
Yes.
sige, so
Um,
yeah. So
yeah, I
what's
guess
your origin story.
Origin story. I guess I'm the only one that's not necessarily a shifter, because design is something that I've been wanting to go into since the start. I think when I was here, I was trying to go to Benil with the was it multimedia design course, but yeah, when I went to Canada, I was kind of looking at fine arts, but it wasn't my thing. Then I did eventually get into product design, but interestingly enough, my intro to product design was actually architecture. We had some like an architecture class in university. But yeah, I guess that's my origin story.
Okay. Nice.
Not very eventful.
Nice. So for this now, we will tell me an anecdote. Let's tell us some stories about yung war stories. Feel free to tell about your war stories in your design work. So I can tell you about so I can start off now. In me, I started with my design story. I keep telling people that I was assigned the role of UX manager, and at the time, X years ago, some N years ago, when I was searching for design UX manager on Monster Jobs and Trabajo.com and Jobs TV, the old websites, X years ago. There was no role. It was not. You could not find what that meant. No, what was the job description? Pero ngayon, you can see wherever there are different kinds of UX designer, UX researcher, UX. May nakikita pa akong UX developer. What is a UX developer? So we're seeing that. So yun ang kwentong for in the UX field that I find interesting, and people find interesting when I say. So let's start about with I'll pass the ball to Din. Din, tell me a story.
All right. Actually, when you're looking back to your origin story, it made me realize that it was with my get to know you chat actually with Jen that made me realize now, okay, my psych background is starting to make sense now, and connecting it to UX research and just hearing about her story and how she started out with psych, and now she's like
So you're talking about
director of research now.
Jen Teves, right? The director of
That
research in Best Buy, right? Yeah.
Yes, actually, it was since our first chat that I realized, oh my goodness, this is a field that I wish it was. I wish UX research existed when I graduated, and I'm only discovering it now. But yeah, definitely, she's like the catalyst, like the first catalyst to um inspire me to pursue UX research, because
Oh,
she made kwento rin about her backstory, and I was like, oh my goodness, okay, yeah, me too. I'm a psych grad too, and and so yeah, to put it simply, yes, that started it for me, and of course UXPH. Seriously, learn about UX in general because of UXPH at the start
yeah.
of this year. And here we are
UXPH.
now.
Yes.
Okay.
So yun yung kwento, no? So Jen
Mm.
is one of our advisors in UX Philippines, and she's like the one of the legendary Pokemons in UX Philippines. No, she's really,
She's
if you wanna
shiny,
reach certain
shiny.
level, she's the hub. Especially UX research, she's the goal. She's the kind of person you would like to learn from. She's very helpful.
Learning a lot.
Oh, so one of the advantages of working in UX, volunteering in UX Philippines, is that you have mentor sessions with people like Jen Teles, which is pretty amazing. All right, so let's ask now Nika. Hi, Nika. Hello again, Nika.
Hello.
So tell me a
Okay.
story.
Sige, I thought of something.
Yes,
I think one of the funniest things for me was parang, because I've been with Make for 3 years. So 3 years
3 years.
last November. I joined them 2017. And just imagine na back in 2017, meron ng mga UX designer posts, but it's not as prevalent as it is right now.
Yes.
I just like finished like some sort of crash course on UX. And then I was looking for the job. And then So when I applied, I eventually got in. And then imagine mo yung parang when I was applying make, my portfolio was super bare bones, scratchy and whatnot. But I got the job. So there was that. I also really thank like a lot of people who believed in me back then. But anyway, so and then I started kasi parang I was like the fifth, hindi ba fifth or basta parang less than 10 pa kami. Like
Yeah.
there was only one at that time, parang it was just Nico. There was another person in design and then me. And then another, parang apat lang kami sa design. And then the rest were like dev na. And then there was 1 p.m. 1 p.m. And then, so parang 10 to 15 pa lang yung buong make. Like we could fit in one lunch table.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, then fast forward to like 1 to 2 years after, we were growing na the team. I was working with my direct boss then. So on the topic of growing the team, we were gonna hire na designer. So this was like a year and a half or like 2 years later na parang okay, let's open more positions, less let's get some applicants to mag-apply sa Vape. And then I was reviewing yung mga portfolios ng mga new applicants like 2 years after. And this time parang may UX soc na, yung mga ano na, marami na ganong
Actually,
other
there are a
resources for
lot,
you to like
even
really good with.
internationally.
Yeah, diba? Sobrang dami na. I mean, so much has changed in like 2 years. It's amazing. Tapos parang sabi ko sa boss ko na, you know what? I'm so happy I joined May when I joined May kasi feel ko pag nag-submit ako ng resume ngayon or portfolio, isa-snub mo lang yung portfolio ko. Looking at all the portfolios I saw, the applicants, they were so good. Like parang, I can't believe parang if you're like a fresh grad tapos you can produce this kind of work. Well, sabi ko, kung ako to, nung fresh grad ako, nagde-derp lang ako. Pero sila, they've been to 3 internships. They've already had case studies under their belt. Parang ako, I don't, Kasi parang sabi ko, buti na lang.
But you're the lead na ngayon. No?
Sabi ko, buti na lang. Kasi kung ako yung nag-submit ngayon, hindi ko makukuha yung job sa week. Sabi ko.
Yeah.
Anyway, funny story lang. That was like, sobrang laki ng change that I noticed.
Yeah ka. Yeah.
Intense. The youth is intense.
Yes. She said she will join us in a bit. Yeah, and then I think Nika, a bit sad that for me, I know about Nico already moving to Miko. Why did you leave Nika? Nico, why did you leave Nika? And the team, but career advancement. So what are you saying? Are you saying if the kids nowadays are so prepared na for UX work because they have they have portfolios, they're writing their on Medium experiences and internships.
Yeah,
I've noticed
I think
that.
Parang sobrang iba lang nung environment now than when I started out. And I felt like parang all those kinds of parang mentorship opportunities, UXPH, it wasn't accessible when I started out to me. Like I only got into inad lang ako sa group nila ng colleagues ko then when I joined. Parang I had no idea about like before ever. But then now looking at it, parang wow, ang dami nilang materials to start off with, and that's so amazing. Parang before, if I would like research UX side, it's like sobrang, it's not here, it's somewhere else. Parang there are no courses except online. Parang ganon. And then now, parang ang daming regular talks that
and
talk about
there are a lot
design.
of courses, and a lot of people are teaching design thinking now. Before, when I was teaching design thinking, when I stopped teaching design thinking, parang ako lang yung nagtuturo before when a couple of years ago. Ngayon, dami na. Everybody's teaching now. Kasi I don't want to teach that anymore. Everybody's teaching.
Yeah. Yun.
Right.
And then, funny nga sige, part 2 lang, quick lang. Kasi,
sige, go.
When I was applying to make, I was applying to 3 more companies. I was applying to one parang venture capitalist, and then another one was New Works.
New
And
Works.
then I got, yeah, so I don't, you
I'm
know where this is going.
si New
So
Works
when
ngayon
I
si ano, I'm
applied,
sure New Works gumagano si New Works ngayon.
so when I applied to UWorks, actually the person who interviewed them was Mika, one of the founders then.
Mika.
So siya yung
Si
talaga
Mika.
nag-interview sa akin. And then I didn't hear back from UWorks, and then eventually I joined Make. And then the year after Make, Mika joins the team. So
I
parang ako,
know, I know. Mika
ah.
becomes, I
So
think he's the
different
operations head na, di
pala.
ba?
Now he's like design and operations.
Design operations head. So actually, so what you're telling me is Mika did not hire you, pero siya yung sumunod sa'yo.
Oo.
Interesting
Yung
story nga.
mga funny stories in my life na
Yeah.
pwede kong i-share.
Yeah. Mika Diaz de Rivera is one of the original core volunteers ng UX Philippines. And he's now basically graduated na. He's doing his own thing. You're meant to be back together, sabi nga ni Dean. Sige, Janelle. Janelle, sabi ni Janelle, we want to need to practice her public speaking skills a bit more. Kasi pag ini-interview
Oh
ka,
my God.
when you're being interviewed, on other, and let's talk about that, yung being interviewed on yung mga different publications. So yeah, Janelle, I guess, tell me a story.
I
What's
was gonna
interesting?
talk about like I guess how UXPH helped me because I'm from abroad. Like I wasn't here for like 11, 12 years. But now that you mentioned about the interviews and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I guess I guess this is like UX related, but it kind of speaks to, I guess, something that I think I'm pretty open about. Like I'm super duper anxious, especially in these settings. So that's why I agreed to be in this chat, or to sort of get out of my comfort zone and hopefully, get past my fears. And whenever I'm anxious, I blank out. Like I totally blank out, and which is something I do a lot on like interviews.
Yeah.
And it's a really difficult challenge for me. And so I guess a funny story that happened, I can like laugh about it now, but when it happened, I was like mortified. This was during the early days of Next Pay, and we were having like a man-com with all the co-founders and advisors. And then as I was giving my update, I was supposed to mention our founder's name, which is Don Pansacola.
Yeah, I know Don.
Totally forgot his name. I'm like, oh,
mental blank.
Yeah. So I was just like, oh,
our founder, him.
Yes, and I've been working with him for like 4 months. It was kind of like super. I'm glad like Aldrich, who I work very closely with in UXPH, was like, Pat, it's okay. I was like laughing at me, so it made everything seem less sort of serious.
Right.
So yeah, it was just like an embarrassing and funny story.
Yeah, and I can attest to how Janelle has changed. I think, and everybody in UX Philippines would at the back end at least would tell us, would say that you were really much quieter before, and now because of your training, I guess, in project management, you're more active and being more calling out people, and I think that's the training of being working in an organization. So thank you very much for sharing. I'm still waiting for
He
Chi.
also pushed me during when we met the first time. I think I mentioned to you that I'm really bad at networking, and you kind of just like, oh, here, I'll introduce you to all these people. I'm like, oh.
I think for me that
And
might be.
You kind of
go.
Just have to sink or swim, yeah. And I swam, hopefully.
Yeah, actually, I was thinking, now that we're talking about superhero powers, I think that's one of my superpowers. I am easy I can network anybody easily with anybody else. So yeah. All right. So I was hoping we could wait for Chi, but I guess Chi's not yet here. So we will start playing our game. This will be our game. We have a couple minutes remaining, and we'll play a game called Kahoot. And this is a game. I think this has only 7 questions. We'll end our and after this we'll end our stream. But let me just turn on Kahoot. Um, and let's play Kahoot. I hope this loads. So
I've
welcome to
never played
Philippine.
Kahoot.
Welcome to Philippine Internet. So make sure to ayun na, tama-tama. Si Chi is here. You just get Chi in. Chi, let you in. How do I let Chi in? Just in time for our game. So I will set up our game. Sige, hello Chi. Chi is, I wonder if this will load. Okay, is Chi here na? Yan na. We're waiting for Chi, and then I'm also loading the
Hi.
game.
Oh, what game is this? Good morning, everyone.
Hello, Chi. Hey, we'll just
Hello.
go through some questions with you, Chi. Because we
Okay.
already went through the questions with everybody else. I go through the same questions with you, and then we'll also start playing a game. While I'm interviewing Chi, I recommend everyone start joining this game. And actually, if I wonder if we're live stream, I can people on stream can actually also join.
I think if
Hey,
you
saan
share the
yung...
Yeah, it's
Where's
here.
the
It's
stream?
I'm streaming on Facebook actually.
Ah,
Um, Let me
Are
just.
you?
baka.
Uh, it's yeah. People are. Let me check. Ha? I think i-check ko lang yung settings. Uh, I will make sure it's live and viewable by the public. Kasi ang dine-default ko siya, ako lang muna eh.
Ah.
But
Oh, hinahanap ko kanina eh.
yan na, it's live na.
I'm on your page, Alex.
Ayan na, it's live. You
Oh
should be
no.
able to see it. All right. Sige, while everybody else is joining the Kahoot game, I will interview Chi. Chi, welcome. Hello.
Welcome to
Uh,
myself.
I usually ask.
I'm
I
sorry, I'm super late.
No worries. I asked the team. I asked the Nika, Din, and Janelle about their first. What if you? What's your designer superpower? So, designer superpower. So si Nika sabi niya, sabi mo Nika, were you a shapeshifter or were you a healer? Di ba? Because you healed the
Healer
team,
nung
ganyan ba?
una.
And then shapeshifter because you shifted your career pala. And then
So many times.
so many times.
Okay.
And then so that's the first question. And the second question is what's your origin story? Where were you before you came to design? How is it? And the third one was tell me a story, an anecdote about yourself. Okay. Na
Okay.
yung memorable na design related. So si Dean and Janelle also explained. Um, Din told the story of how she met Jen Tevez, our director ng Best Buy. And Janelle shared yung kwento niya na she didn't know she was mahiyain before. She didn't like and started to meet people and now is key organizer behind UX Philippines.
Yeah.
Superpower niya. Yes. Okay, so Chi, let's start with you. Let's continue with you, I guess. Tell us about your superpower and your origin story if you're designer superpower.
Nice design superpower. I guess what would be I can make um parang paano ba? Like does it have to sound like a superpower? Because
No,
like
it's fine. It's
right
something that
now,
when do you really enjoy working or when are you at your best? Or doesn't need to be an actual superpower. Hinahanap mo yun, you're
okay.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. No, I mean like ang iniisip ko kasi is like I enjoy it when I work on prototypes that are interactive tapos it's as if parang it's also tying into my origin story.
Yeah.
Kasi, I can create mga prototypes for things, for apps, I guess, digital interfaces that seem like it's the real thing. And I
Yeah.
As in, tipong inaalam ko kung paano siya dapat itsura kapag, pag nag-hover or pag nag-scroll ka,
Mm-hmm.
dapat scrollable tong parts. Yung mga simple, small things that
Yeah.
people don't normally mind or like leave it as is. Pero ako, I make it a habit to like make it so that it looks as if it's working. So that, um, well, yun nga, parang if ever I need to test it, I'll just show it to people and then I'm like, oh, ano yung thinking mo dito? Or like, is it okay? Or ano yung, did you understand it? Something
Mhm.
like that. So, easy lang din to do testing or just to get feedback in general.
Right.
Ayun, I guess. Kasi, ayun, tying into my origin story, it's because, um, ever since I was in, um, high school, I guess, I've been a self-taught web designer slash, I guess, going into a front-end developer na hindi ko naman alam kung anong tawag dun noon.
Uh-huh.
So, I've always had this want to be able to create websites in particular. Different kinds of websites, different for different kinds of things, like either content or like for games. Siguro before there was a time that I wanted to make games. Pero essentially, it all hinges on being able to make something interactive. Oh my god, okay, ayan na yung mukha
Yeah,
ko.
that's who you are. That's Chi.
Yeah.
And Chi, I guess what is tell me a story. Tell me an interesting anecdote. Last week you just presented how was your experience in
Yeah,
presenting in the
so
career fair.
okay, yeah. So I guess I'll talk about the behind the scenes for preparing for that work bean talk, about the things they don't teach you when starting out in UX. So, what I did, or what I attempted to do, was to prepare in advance and then practice for my talk, record it, and then I should be chill on a Friday
Display
para
it, right?
and then just play it and then I'm like, okay, sige, do you have any questions? Gaganyan lang ako.
Uh-huh.
Tapos,
What happened?
pero, what happened was, what actually happened was, yeah, no, you mentioned outline then. So, I actually had an outline already. Like, I
Yeah.
was prepping towards it. But
Hmm.
but because I was already feeling it na parang, ayoko na. Parang, I just couldn't put myself to create the prototype tuloy, the PowerPoint presentation kasi parang
That's,
I was battling medyo imposter syndrome, I guess. Kasi I
yeah.
was thinking, ako ba yung tamang tao to tell these things to people?
Yeah.
I'm just someone with siguro, I mean, I was
Yeah.
thinking na parang, I'm just someone with 4 years experience or maybe less. I'm not sure if I actually know what I'm doing. I mean,
And
the
then
years are there.
yeah,
But yeah, yeah.
and
And
we also ano,
then
'di ba? We also did basically
UXPH offered to go through the talk with me.
yeah.
No, Saturday dapat yun nangyari. My talk was on a Friday that I thought was on a Thursday. The deadline of the pre-recording, if I had to give it, was on a Monday. And no, it was on a Tuesday. And
Uh-huh.
that Monday, it was a holiday. So we even had a long weekend. I had all the time in the world to be able to prepare this and stuff. But life got in the way and
And
yun
life
nga,
got in the way.
yeah, I was just really I just didn't know if I was the right person for it. By the time Monday came in and it was a Sunday. I mean, like in terms of the week, yung parang the next week, the next day is a work day. Tapos parang, oh
Yeah.
my God, wala na akong oras para gawin yung
But
gawin
the
yung
cool thing is
actual
we also basically did a prototype of your talk, 'di ba? We
na.
prototype your talk.
So,
Two
yeah, so nung
prototypes.
time na yun, minadali ko siya nung gabi na yun na
Uh-huh.
i-set up. And
Uh-huh.
then, I'm like, random lang sa chat ng UXPH na parang, hey, meron bang available ngayon?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a practice of my talk. And even nung practice, I was like, ba't ko ginagawa to? Parang I felt so wrong. Tapos, pero nung ginawa ko na siya, so, I did the first round of my talk. Tapos parang,
Yeah.
okay, I got some feedback from people. And
Mm-mm.
I was still working on it with the thought that it was due on Thursday. And then, that was on a Wednesday.
Yeah. And yun yung kwento mo.
Tapos,
Akala mo
yes.
Thursday. You thought it was a
Akala ko
Thursday.
Thursday, tapos pala,
And
Friday
stressing
pala.
over
Tapos,
Thursday and then
oh,
it was apparently a Friday.
so
You're just chilling on a
oh
Friday.
my God. so nagpa-excuse pa ako sa work or something. As in, ang dami kong ginawa, nag-adjust ako for Thursday. Tapos hindi pala. So,
Yes.
inayos ko na lang
Interesting.
yung presentation ko nung
Ah.
Thursday night. I also presented it in like a more okay manner. Like, as in, nasabihan ko na yung mga tao na, huy, nang maaga na, hey,
Yeah.
I'm gonna practice again. Tapos, Din was even part of
Yeah.
the
So
the
thank you.
prototype run.
Thanks for people like Din and who
Yeah.
gave me
And
feedback.
actually, it was funny kasi parang, ano siya eh, spoiler siya for Din kasi she's attending the talk. Pero, nung actual talk, I didn't really follow na rin how I did it the past 2 times.
Yeah, I saw it
I would-
but I think it was
Yeah.
pretty good. I like the part na may before and after ka na. Mayroong part, I'll share you about that.
Oh.
Anyway,
Yeah, pero I think Din can vouch for it na I think it was more natural for me nung actual presentation na than
yeah.
when I was practicing kasi I
Yep,
was
yep.
scared.
Sige,
Oh my God. Yeah.
can I ask you
Sige,
to
let's-
join the Kahoot IT game? Kasi we have only, we promised to end this at 11. May mga magla-lunch
I'm
pa dito
sorry.
eh.
Okay, sige. Tara.
So, yeah. And we are actually live. So we're doing this because we wanted to try out how to do live streaming and doing video. I think we're just missing Janelle. Yeah, na. So we will start in a bit. So we're doing this. We're streaming live to practice how to do this and what does it take to do this. And we'll find out now. For now, we have one game, and let's play the game. You see my screen. I will start the game. This is about UX, I guess. I just look for. I don't actually know the questions. I just found it on Kahoot, and then so don't kill me if it's wrong. Game. Let's start playing Kahoot. Recap quiz. 2, 1. Quiz. Who first coined the term user experience? Who first coined the term user experience? Who coined it? The term user experience. It was Don Norman.
You
In
just made it up.
1995. He just made it. No, actually, in 1995, he became his first title was User Experience Architect at Apple in 1995. So, siya yung nag-coin ng term na user experience. But he regretted it later on kasi people said users parang it's not human. It should be human, not just treating people like objects. Right. Next. User experience design is how it works, how product works, is how a user feels about a particular product or service, uses visual assets to enhance the user experience, could say a button should physically, what is that? Press down when clicked.
I'm so confused.
So I think what's the definition of user experience
Parang-
design? Oh yeah, there. You got it. Of course you got it. Come on. Trick it.
Let's say
Trick
a
quiz,
button
no?
should physically press down when click. Okay.
That's so weird.
Interesting.
Yeah. So of course she is leading. Why am I not surprised? She. Next.
Bilis lang
18
ako.
questions pala to. UI design. Blank. Guides a user through the product interface visually. Uses visual assets to enhance the user experience. Could be a series of buttons and how they look. Could say a button should physically press down when clicked. Hindi ko mag-gets yung could say. What is could say a button should? This quiz.
Parang sinasabi, pinapakita mo na it's a button.
For the
Conservative.
for the. So okay, everything pala is correct except that one. Right. Din is on fire. The catalyst.
Yeah.
Let's see. So 18 questions. I think we'll end with this and then cognitive dissonance. Ano what's cognitive dissonance? My strategic principles. My comics pa eh. State of having conflicting beliefs. State of having consistent beliefs. When a person feels comfortable with their beliefs, thoughts, anxiety from simultaneously holding contradictory thoughts. And the answer is the red. Dalawa.
With
So
the
state of being
Mm.
conflicting beliefs, attitudes, and so that's cognitive dissonance. Okay. So let's see your scores. Din very fast clicker,
Wow.
din
whoa.
Then,
Wow.
whoa.
Whoa.
User experience design involves what? What does it involve? I think this is a trick question. What is too much of a trick question? Sige nga. All
Dun,
of the
dun,
above.
dun.
So Dian is still leading. Sige, next.
Damn.
So fast.
Finish this. User experience design includes which of the following roles?
Lahat.
Lahat nga.
Bonus daw.
Bonus. Yeah, this is a bonus. Bonus round.
Pabilisan
Chi
lang
going
ng
back
konti.
up. Ang bilis mag-click. Fast clicker. Fast clicker. UX designers ... Improve the
Ba yan?
quality of users' interaction. Yeah, what kind of quiz is this? Endow products websites with emotion. Iterate a product website. Do front-end development. So everything except doing front-end development. That's why I'm confused with UX developer. So what is a UX developer when I hear that title? It's so weird.
One person doing two things.
Yeah, it's so crazy. The catalyst. User interface design is about what? What? Yes, okay. It's not about emotional impact. Why?
Actually, may
So,
nag-isip ako kay usability or emotional impact eh.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I thought it would have something about
That's the
emotional
visual
impact
part.
as
But it was
well.
lahat.
We could question the guy who made this quiz. UI designers are concerned with. What are you concerned with, Chi? Nika, what are you concerned with? What are you concerned with?
Ah!
Oh my gosh.
No!
Talaga?
Grabe! That's wrong!
Hmm,
No.
Beautiful
interesting.
icons daw.
Less green.
Grabe.
You have to craft beautiful
Fine.
icons.
Nice.
Nika's catching
Visual.
up.
Slow and steady
Visual.
wins the
A
race.
minimum viable product is the earliest version of your product is user testable. The fully developed and finished version of your product. A small unusable piece of your product. The smallest wow, this. Everybody got it right. All right. What kind of deliverable is this?
Ayan.
What kind of deliverable is this? What kind of deliverable? Is it a sketch, a prototype, a wireframe, or is it a mock-up? Also practice modulating my voice. It is a wireframe. It is a wireframe.
ASMR. Ooh!
Yeah, let's do ASMR. What kind of deliverable is this? What kind of deliverable is this? Is it target audience? Is it a user scenario? It is a persona,
What do we
right?
get after this?
A Lazada, no,
12
virtual
voucher.
voucher.
Ah,
Uh, Accessibility involves removing barriers that prevent interaction with a website, making websites interfaces easy for people with disabilities, making websites interfaces that are easy for everyone to use, making. All right, it's for people with disabilities.
it's everything. It's
Lahat.
another bonus.
Yeah. Next, iterative means
Buzzword.
the iterative is a buzzword. The process of repeating and improving,
Where are you
doing
sending?
something again and again, usually to improve it. The process of learning and developing through cyclical inquiry.
Oh
All of the above. It is all of the
no. What?
above.
I clicked the wrong
It's all
button.
of the above. Clickbait, click trap,
Eh,
and then
Clickbait.
an iteration is everything that occurs until feedback is received. Is what happens when the product is finished. Is everything that occurs
What?
until feedback is received. Is what happens. All right, everyone got it. Hey, baby. This is so easy.
Didn't make sense though.
I don't know. It didn't make
Ako
sense.
rin, hindi ko rin siya
Yeah,
gets.
I didn't get it either. The agile process
Lol.
model is the golden standard for developing digital products. It means that we can test
Wow.
early and
Wow,
often.
this is claiming
Can
something that
Oo
will
nga eh,
make
parang
other
I don't
people
want to
angry.
say it,
Yeah.
but I think it's the correct answer.
Yeah. Same.
nah, we better question whoever made this quiz.
That red thing.
This is a quiz from Kahoot, one of the standard quizzes. The golden
Customize.
standard. Is it the golden standard? Do you agree with it being the golden standard? Right. Next. The last two questions. The product backlog, blank, is the to-do list for the product. Is managed by the product owner. Is managed by the Scrum Master. Helps the team break the product into smaller pieces. So actually, so almost everything except is managed by the product master, the Scrum Master. And our last question of this controversial UX quiz is the daily Scrum.
Oh my
The
god.
daily
Oh my
Scrum is
God.
used to assess progress. Is the product to-do list. Takes 1 to 4 weeks. Is used to make necessary adjustments to the strategy. Right.
All?
So it's used to assess progress and it's used to make necessary adjustments to the strategy. Interestingly enough, just before our call earlier, Janelle and I were just talking about this
Oh.
product management and project
Interesting.
management. All right. How did we fare?
Wala. Moment of truth.
UI, UX recap quiz. And I know some people who will be angry with UX, UI. Nika, second place. And the winner is
Bravo 16 out of
G.
Grabe si Gia.
Oh,
Speed
but
lang.
Hindi
Nika
ko
is
alam
All
kung
right.
nag
17
first
out of
place
18.
kahit kahit hindi ko
Speed,
alam.
speed lang yan.
Okay. Thank you for playing that very controversial Kahoot game.
Just because we
Okay.
got it right doesn't mean we agree with it.
Yeah.
We just know how to
Okay.
answer properly.
Yeah, so thank you very much for joining today's session. I will try to keep doing this actually weekly. So you're also free to join weekly. And we'll just do it's our my weekly test stream for UX designers. If you're interested, maybe we can be a learning session for everybody else as well. Thank you, Nika. Thank you, Dean,
You.
Janelle, and Chi. I think my last question before we leave is tell me of a good book or article that you read lately or recently that's very memorable for you. Meron ba kayong naalala? Any good book or article that you read recently that you can recommend for people? For me, I read a good book, the James Clear's book on habits, Atomic Habits.
Atomic
Very good.
Habits. Love
That's
that book.
yeah, and that's the reason why I'm doing this daily stream, my personal daily stream every day because I'm trying to build atomic habits. No, that's the reason why read that. That's for me.
Nice. And you're drawing.
Yeah, and yes, my
Reading that.
doodles and daily drawings to practice my sketch. I'll pass the ball to Din because you replied. Any recommendations, last recommendations, articles for people?
Oh, I'm reading The Secret Life of Pronouns. So I'm at the first part pa lang, and it's about analyzing what people write and how they use their pronouns, how it can give insight to where they're currently their mindset and where they're currently at. Like supposedly, a lot of when you use a lot of eyes, it's like you're in a like contemplative mood or something. But I'm in the first part pa lang, so it currently I find it really interesting, and I wonder what other use of pronouns means.
Thank you,
So yeah.
Din. Pass the ball.
Mhm.
Who's
Oh,
next?
I'll pass it to Nika.
Nika.
So, currently I'm rereading Tina Selig's What I Wish I Knew When I Was 20. And I think sobrang good book to recommend siya for almost everyone because it's a good way to like see things in different perspectives. As in, medyo mind opener siya. And I'm a big fan
Nice.
of Tina Selig. So
Right. Sige,
check it
Nika.
out.
I will check it out.
Oh, book
Nika,
club.
pass the ball to
I
Janil or
pass it
Chi.
to Chi.
Chi, good.
Sorry, kasi I'm currently not reading anything actually because my I'm my attention span sometimes cannot handle just reading things online, but I'd rather watch stuff. So maybe for something in particular, I'm learning how to use Obsidian.
Mm,
It's a tool, Obsidian MD,
MD?
yung website. I mean,
Obsidian website.
Obsidian yung term. Ay, yung program.
Mm.
Tapos, I'm also learning about the Zettelkasten method of
Yeah, the
taking
Zetel
notes, which is
casting
essentially
note taking
just
method.
taking notes, but you backlink to previous notes or
Yep.
previous thoughts that you've had.
Yeah. And it's
So,
also for
yun,
paraphrasing. Mm.
yeah, and I mean, to make my outlines better.
Yeah. It's also very
And not
good
be wordy
for
wordy.
sige, that's another interesting topic. We can have that as a future episode. Interviewing kita, Chi. It's very good.
Oh my god.
Zettelkasten method, note taking, um, for your writing and so on. So last is Janil. Any books, articles,
Um,
videos?
it's like a mix of videos and articles. It's
Mhm.
about how to build a second brain in
Yeah.
Notion.
Yes, it's a very good.
I haven't been doing the parang daily challenge
Yeah,
constantly. So I think one of the parang barriers for that is I'm struggling with how to do that in Notion and organizing it.
yeah, it's a very
So
good.
I'm yeah,
Yes,
automate it and stuff. So,
yeah. Maybe if you're free next week, I'll ask you if you're free. Let's talk about that. Actually, that's very tied to Zettelkasten also, the second brain. Building a second
Fun.
brain, and I actually
Yeah,
went through
actually.
the
Yeah.
course, on building
Oh,
a second brain, the very
anong
expensive
course?
course
Ay,
by
oo nga pala
Tiago
yung sa
Forte.
Notion. Yeah, yung sa Notion
Oh, you
thing.
took it.
Yeah, I took the very
Mm.
expensive
Oo.
course of Tiago Forte's How to Build a Second Brain, and I
How is it,
can.
the man? You
It's
like
very
it?
good. Actually, it's very good. I recommend it, but it is really pricey. Better if your company can pay for it. All right.
let's have a
So
session
thank
on
you,
it.
Get you a
thank you.
company that can pay your training.
Yes, that cares for your well being. Maybe something like Make that technology. Are you hiring Nika just in
Um,
case?
I think we are.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm.
What are you looking for just in case so people who are watching the stream can share? Are you aware of the
um,
job? We can just share it
yeah,
later on.
mostly interaction designers.
Mhm.
So we need to grow the team a bit more.
All
I
right.
think there's 1 or 2 jobs as posts available.
Okay.
Message me na lang offline.
Yes. Yes. And then so
Yeah.
let's try to do this again next week if you're free. And then we'll invite other people who wants to join in as well. Thank you for joining me in today's session of Conversations with Designers. I'm your host, Ellie. And thank you, Nika, Din, Janelle, and Chi. Thank you and bye-bye. Bye-bye. And end the stream. Stream and then stream has ended. And thank you. Thank you. I know
Okay.
some of you
Thank
might
you.
need to go to
Oh
lunch.
no.
Salamat.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank
Thank
you. To be
Bye.
you.
continued
Thank
next week
you.
if you're free.
Thanks.
Sige,
Thank
bye-bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.